Guys, welcome back to another interesting chess game. This one was played in 1948 in Paris, and it was played between Muffang Andre playing as white and his opponent was Devos Paul. What is interesting about this game is that white finished this game with one quiet move and black's position was simply overloaded. His pieces couldn't protect all the squares and he decided to resign. A truly wonderful example of how you should attack against weak and overloaded enemy's pieces, and again you will surely enjoy. So without further ado, we will go straight into it. White opened the game with d4, we have d5 and c4 for white. We are in Queen's Gambit. Black accepts this and we have knight to f3 on the board. Black continues with knight f6 and right now we have e3 with the idea to protect this pawn on d4. e6 was played for black. Black's idea is to put this bishop on e7 and then castle and put his king to safety. We have bishop picking up on c4 and right now we have c5 on the board, a common move in this sort of openings. Black is trying to undermine the center, and then if the trade happens to try and play on this pawn, I will of course show you this line as well. But our game continued with castle for white, and right now black played a6 with the idea to play b5 and push away this bishop. But after castle here, black had this option of course, and how this opening is usually played is c picks up on d4, and after e picks up on d4, bishop e7 for black, knight to c3 for white, castle for black, rook to e1 for white taking advantage of the semi-open file. We have knight to c6 right now pressuring this pawn. a3 now played for white with the idea to stop the invasion of this dark knight. We have queen to b6 again pressuring this pawn, and right now we have h3 for white. White's idea is to stop this knight from jumping on g4 and then possibly undermining bishop on e3, which will be developed there. In these sort of structures we have rook to d8 attacking this pawn again, and right now bishop e3 is what usually goes, and this is how the game unfolds when this opening is played in this variation. One of the ways to play this opening of course, but we have a6 on the board for black, we have a3 for white with the idea to open the square for this white bishop. Bishop to e7 for black, we have queen to e2, and right now b5. Black continues his original plan. White puts his bishop to safety with bishop e2, and we have bishop b7, normal developing move. Black develops this bishop on a really nice diagonal here. D takes on c5 was played for white. We have bishop picking up on c5, and right now b4 was played for white. This bishop is now under attack and he has to retreat. Bishop a7 was played for black, and right now white continues with bishop to b2, a really nice square for this bishop taking advantage of this long diagonal. Black now decided to castle, and we have knight b to d2, developing his knight on a much better square because developing it on c3 would block this bishop's diagonal. We have knight to e4. Right now black offers the trade. For now white refuses and he plays rook f to d1. Queen has to find a better square and black plays queen to e7. We have rook a to c1 taking advantage of this open c file. We have knight picking up on d2, queen picks up on d2, and bishop b6 played for black. Black is trying to fix his pieces a little bit. White continues with queen to c3, a really nice move. Right now there is a checkmate threat on the board, and that is the reason black played f6. White continues with knight to d4. Right now this square is weak and this pawn is weak, and that is the reason black is forced to trade. The bishop takes on d4, queen takes on d4, and we have knight c6 developing the knight with a tempo and attack on this queen. We have queen to c5 right now played for white. White calculated that this ending would be much more favorable for him, which is actually the truth because he has an open bishop pair. We have rook f to e8. Black now wants to protect this pawn with all of his forces and everything that he's got because this is his weakest link. We have rook to d6 played for white. White now cancels his plan with a trade and right now aims at this pawn immediately. Knight to d8 was played for black with the idea to protect this pawn, and we have queen to d4 played for black, again aiming at this weak g7 square. We have bishop to c8 with the same idea to somehow try and unpin his pieces to move his king to h8, and this pawn needs to be defended, and that is the reason behind this move. White continues with h4. His idea is to push this pawn on h5 and then h6 and open the black king. We have king to h8 played for black. Finally black removes himself from this nasty diagonal, but right now white plays bishop to b1, again aiming at this weak pawn on h7. We have a rook to b8 played for black. Black is now without moves, practically in a zugzwang. White continues the game with queen to e4. Right now this threat is active. Black now blocks this threat with f5, and we have queen to e5 played for white, again exploiting the weakness on g7. And after rook to a8 we are coming into the critical part of the position. After this, white finished the game with beautiful and quiet rook to c7. Black resigned because there is nothing he can do. He will either get checkmated or he will lose his queen. We will of course see all the variations. Let's say that black picks up this rook, then the game continues with rook picking up on d8. And right now, if you decide to pick up this queen, of course this is not a good move because rook picks up on a8 is checkmate. So what else can you do? After rook picks up on d8, you can pick up this rook, but this leaves your queen free for taking, and this is white with huge material advantage and a huge positional advantage. Computer evaluates it as almost +8. So this is not good as well. So what else is there for black in this position after rook to c7? If you decide to play rook to a7, that's perfectly fine. You are willingly sacrificing your queen, and again white is winning with huge material advantage. Let's see what else is there. For example, if you play queen to f8, then rook picks up on g7 is a dangerous threat. For example, if you decide to defend with knight to c6 attacking this queen, then rook to g8 is a deadly threat, and after this move you are forced to pick up with your king. Queen to h8 is a check, king goes on f7, the only move, queen picks up on h7, check, and after queen goes on g7, which is the only defense, queen picks up on g7 is the checkmate. And this is how this game ended, and this is all I have prepared for you today. If you enjoyed this game, please make sure to leave a comment, like and share this video with people who enjoy chess, because word of mouth referrals like this really help my channel grow, and I couldn't do this without your help. I really appreciate you in advance. If you are interested in helping me and supporting my channel, you can do that by donating directly to my PayPal. Each new donator will be listed in my new future videos. Of course, you will see your name on the screen. You can also become a channel member, another way to support my channel. And of course, I would like to know your opinion about this game. Feel free to share your opinions. Have I missed something in the analysis? Do you like this game? And of course, I always enjoy reading your comments. If you have something else to say, just say it. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see each other on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.